Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carl Mingers. This is Aaron Burns, and we are WRME Live. We are Main Edge. February 21st, 2025. 1/6 of the way through this year already. Episode 244. Man, can you believe how fast politics is moving?
That's
I mean,
but
I've never seen anything in my lifetime happen as fast as everything is happening. There's good and there's bad, and there's 1,000 different ways to look at things. How is it going to affect real estate? That really hasn't affected a whole lot of things. Now, if all this money they're saving with Doge, we get those $500 to $7,500 checks.
yes.
That should give people some down payment money, possibly to buy some houses. Okay, there's down payment assistance programs out there and stuff. But I tell you what, you got an extra $5,000 if you don't blow it on trinkets.
Mm-hmm.
You can move, out of an apartment into a small house somewhere.
Yeah.
The Oklahoma City market, we definitely need more affordable housing. Okay,
Yes.
these McMansions that they build around Mustang and Yukon. Most people can't afford them. Now we've got two different additions coming into Mustang. We've got the duplex ones off 89th Street. That's all been approved by the city. Ross Coleman, or whoever bought Ross Coleman, is it
Oh.
Lennon, like Fannin? They've got a development
Was it
over.
Lamar?
Might be Lamar, I can't remember. Off of County Line Road, and then we've got the new addition off of Morgan Road getting ready to go in. And most of those are all going to be, anywhere from 1,300 to about 1,800 square foot houses, which is definitely needed. How our schools are going to handle that is a whole nother story.
But
Okay.
handling that is better than handling apartment complex.
Oh, absolutely. Apartment complexes.
Flood a school district.
Well, the taxes that's collected on an apartment complex versus the property taxes on a single family home, there's a huge difference. Okay, and that's where the money comes from for the schools, is from property taxes and millages.
Yes.
And your car tags and stuff like that. People that have a house tend to have 2 to 3 cars. Okay, generally 2 cars. People that have an apartment, a lot of them only have 1. A lot of them have none. Okay, so that the taxes collected from the tags and everything else doesn't go to the school if you don't have a
Right.
car. If you're not buying gas, you're not paying the fuel tax and all that other stuff, which goes towards the roads and stuff like that. Oh, goodness gracious. How all this politics is going to affect real estate. It's just going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's definitely affected everything since the election, has affected the commercial side. We're starting to see things move. We've got a big commercial closing today.
You guys have seen it more in the commercial side. A definite direct, instant
Now,
impact.
interest rates are still killing us on the commercial side, but they're down 1% or 2 from what they were, 6 months ago.
Right.
We got a commercial closing next week. We got a residential closing next week.
Yes.
On interest rates, they're still hovering 5.85 to 6.85. That sounds high if you're young,
Right.
but it sounds reasonable if you're 60 years old and can remember the early 80s when everything was stupid crazy on interest rates. Now, one thing I've noticed on interest rates is the basis change. Okay, in the early 80s, it went from basically 8 to 15 to 16, so that's twice.
Right.
Okay, the problem with our housing market now, we went from 2 to 2.25 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
That was 4 to 5 times the change that we had way back then.
Right.
That would have been devastating to the market, except that we have such a housing shortage. A lot of that's from immigration and just population. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how all this affects. I wonder if the rest of the country has the housing shortage that we have. I mean, I read articles and stuff, but I don't believe half of what I read anymore.
Right.
Quit yawning.
I can't help it.
Made her get up early. Okay.
I want to be in bed. It's cold.
Alternative housing. I've been reading a lot about this stuff. You got Boxable with your casitas, the instant house.
Right.
Okay. Now, how those are going to be worked in with the ADU laws that are
it's
under discussion right now?
Same with the tiny houses. A lot of people have to find a workaround with the tiny homes because a
Right.
lot of people won't allow tiny homes.
Well, a lot of people, they call them granny flats or mother-in-law rooms or something. They're actually called ADUs, which is accessory dwelling
Right.
unit or additional dwelling unit on a single family property. Okay. Boxable seems like to be one of the most viable deals there. Tesla's supposed to be coming out with theirs. Did you come up with any info on the Tesla stuff?
No,
Okay.
it gave a couple different names and things called.
Well, you got all these not millennials, not your generation, but
Not my
the next generations that's coming along. The people that are living at home
Right.
until they're like 26. If they could move into an accessory dwelling unit, additional dwelling unit, whatever you want to call these, affordable dwelling unit, to get them started on living on their own. Okay, even though they're living with their parents
Right.
still, but they're not in the house underfoot
Right.
and all that stuff. They're getting the feel of
Being on their own without
being on their own,
being
right.
on their own.
right. That would be a good thing. In my generation, by the time you were 21, you were either married, had a house. I was married and had a house at 19. Okay, that's just not common anymore. I don't know. What's your thoughts on all this?
I would like to see more affordable houses. I mean, it would be good not only for the younger generation, but the older generation.
Right. Well,
I mean, you got,
not everybody needs a 2,500 plus square foot house.
well, even houses on more acreage, bigger lots.
Right.
There's some people that would like a little more space but don't need a huge house.
Right. The new development off of County Line Road, there by the water tower, that's being rezoned for RE, residential estates, which is 3/4 acre or bigger. Okay, not like 2 acres or anything like that. It'll almost all be 3/4 to 1 acre lots,
Right.
and that's really perfect for a small homestead or something like that. Your
Right.
houses aren't butted up against each
And that's
other.
the thing I'd like to see. You don't need 2,000 plus houses or bigger just because you're on a half an acre. It would be nice to see some more changes in what developers are doing. I know we need more houses because we're growing here in Oklahoma, but it would be
Yes, we
nice
are.
to have some room. I would like to spread out around my house. But I don't need a big house anymore because I'm an empty nester. But I would like some room.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
well, there's a lot of confidence in your existence when you can have a little garden, in your backyard.
right,
Have your little backyard oasis that you escape from the everyday crap.
right.
When you come home from work and you have to go into your house and you have no real outside space, that I believe outside space is just healthy for people. Okay. I love our farm. I can't imagine living in a regular small housing addition anymore. You know, I've got half a dozen trailers and stuff like
Right.
that. You know, if you've got 3/4 of an acre, you know, if you've got a boat you need to park in your yard or a small RV,
Well, even half an acre for some people is enough for them to take care of.
mm-hmm. That's why 1 to 2 acre lots are so popular. A full 1 acre lot is really popular, but hard to find. Most people don't want 5 acres because
No.
then you got to have a tractor to mow everything, and it's just a
But
lot of
even
work.
then, finding those lots and finding a smaller house is very difficult to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So-
Most of those lots, you know, got big houses. You know, it's just the way it is.
And I don't need a huge house anymore.
Well, I would like to see some comments, hopefully put down below on what do you think of the accessory dwelling units. I'm not sure exactly where Oklahoma City is on that. I know they've passed a few approvals on that. I haven't been following to that
haven't
closely.
either.
I need to, but been so busy on the commercial side, haven't really had time to think about it. What else we got going?
We got, for anybody looking, we have our 2 offices listing. Our warehouse offices are listed for
Yep.
anybody looking. So we got something new in the works.
Yeah,
so
these are
our places are
1,300 square
listed.
feet
Yes.
here, dual zone heat and air.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, we have nice cozy little spots here to work in.
Yes.
It is nice coming in and having a nice warm.
And they've both
Spot.
been improved, so they actually have offices. They're not just a
They're
big
probably
open
the
warehouse.
nicest units in this whole complex,
So,
by far.
holler at me if you want to see them.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Well, we're 13 minutes in, so we probably
Yeah.
ought to wrap this up.
but that's it. We got stuff to do. So,
Yes, we do. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. We are WRME Live. We're Weichert Realtor. Excuse me. We are Main Edge. I still can't hardly get that out of my head. Where we do real life, real world real estate every day.
bye.
Come see us.